Hi, everyone. Sorry for the delay. Let everybody sign in. I'm Managing Director for Cryptopay. Thanks for making the time to join us today. A lot of fun, especially with everything in the space. So, we're going to make this a really cool little Q&A session. Obviously, the floor is open for any people to comment, and we'll take it from there. I'll go through some of my background and kind of, what we've been up to in terms of the past few years with the business and kind of where things are moving, but definitely going to be an exciting one. So we'll get going here in just a sec. There we go. Just getting all set up. Obviously, I want to keep it very, very open. So anybody that has comments at any time, feel free to just, interject. I'll start with some of my background and, how I got involved in the space. Obviously, the number one question on a lot of people's minds, how did you find Bitcoin involved? I've been fortunate enough to obviously be a very early adopter and a believer in, technology. My background's actually in psychology, and, I studied my degree in consumer behavior for gambling addiction years ago, and obviously learned a lot about customer incentive programs, consumer behavior, why customers are so fascinated with digital flows and experiences, and kind of when the internet really started to generate a lot of different businesses, for example, in the payment sphere, in wallets and gaming and finance. So I used my knowledge in psychology, did my thesis in consumer behavior for gambling addiction, never really went to work with people directly, but started working with a lot of big operators and payment companies in terms of designing user experiences and flows, really around and how people can really utilize technology at that time in an efficient and scalable manner. So I obviously work with some really big companies early on. Now they're big companies, etc. I've really been consulting quite a lot of different businesses over the years. Whether it's been in the gaming space or whether it's been in fintech, in those areas around consumer behaviors is quite vast. I discovered Bitcoin, and at that time it became extremely obvious to me just how powerful something of this nature could be. I remember sitting in my hedge fund office and thinking to myself, I just can't wait to get out of here and spend as much time as possible, working with this. And I'd been working with startups for many years before that. And I just said, you know what, I'm going all in. And, I can remember working with an initial friend of mine here in London about kind of just the economics around it and the technology itself. And I was absolutely, I got it straight away. And, from that point early in 2013, there was never really a framework for business get it going and set up, especially here in the UK. And obviously I was very big in starting the UK Digital Currency Association with some in order to kind of really set up a framework for companies to scale. And for Cryptopay itself, really, really exciting business. I couldn't be happier to be involved. And, Cryptopay, being obviously is really important. We're actually one of the longest running Bitcoin companies in the space now, going on over 4.5 years. And, as far as the actual setup of the business, it's important to note that, we really do put a lot of emphasis on our customers and exactly what we provide them as far as the security, as far as our licensing approach. We are one of the only companies that actually hold a payments license here by the Financial Conduct Authority in the United Kingdom. So we really value our customers in terms of the support we provide and the usability in terms of the platform itself. Obviously, our focus has been on the B2C side of the business for about 4 years, and we've recently just started growing out a lot of different B2B services, so white label, etc. Just to kind of go through some of the pillars of the business, obviously, you see a lot of different people doing very similar things. So, I just want to kind of separate kind of, how Cryptopay stands out by going through some of the services that we offer. So we offer our customers wallets. We offer our customers, merchant processing. We offer the exchange services. And then obviously, we offer the Bitcoin and crypto cards. It's been to the platform over the past 2.5 years or so, and we've done a great job to instill that trust within our user base and, make sure that we have a very strong product as far as the cards are concerned. And that's obviously a very big part of the business and currently positioned as the largest crypto card issuers in the space. So, it's definitely a great product to be able to make your Bitcoin fungible. I couldn't think of an easier way to actually be able to spend your Bitcoins, be able to exchange your Bitcoins for cash, etc. Just kind of moving on to the ICO, kind of go back in terms of, what we're doing on the business side and what that future looks like as far as crypto as a whole is concerned. Again, I do a lot of talks and spend a lot of time with startups from an advisory perspective, not just in crypto space, but really in general in terms of operations and licensing. So we'll get to that later. But as far as the Cryptopay ICO is concerned, obviously we saw a wonderful opportunity after building up so much trust and with our user base that we wanted to make sure that users the opportunity to reap the benefits in terms of our business. And we felt that the token and the ICO was a good opportunity in order to really provide them that ability to be involved more with the business itself. As you know, that the fever right now is quite exciting. We're a bit of a different token structure in the fact that we are a licensed business, and we have to be very honest in terms of our financial product. So it's been a phenomenal success. I couldn't be happier to actually be closing out this ICO. We've gotten some phenomenal partners that we'll be announcing in terms of being able to hopefully launch the world's first regulated Bitcoin brokerage. I mean, that's the whole point. So a lot of stuff around the ICO, it's all about expanding the services for our users and making sure that our users have that trust and support that they're used to in order to take advantage of these new services. So we see Bitcoin brokerage side of things is going to really remove a lot of unnecessary friction when it comes down to actually foreign investors or people investing in stocks and indices, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of great announcements coming with that and a lot of benefits for our users that are going to be able to take advantage of it. Let me just take 1 second to kind of go through some of the questions here that are coming through. When is the ICO expected to be completed for it to hit the exchanges? So as you can see from the ticker, ico.cryptopay.me, we have about 3 days remaining with the ICO. We've already reached that first milestone, so great opportunity to obviously still get involved. Our token gets listed. We have a couple great agreements with some exchanges, which we will be announcing, throughout the next couple weeks. Obviously, if there'll be some other announcements to come with that, which we will be updating our users on. But yes, we obviously definitely have an opportunity for our current customers to be able to still get in early before that listing does take place, because we envision it to definitely be very successful once it does get listed. Okay. going back to the questions now. Good question. Yeah. So what are the advantages of Cryptopay over 10x? I think that's, thanks, Kevin. Just to talk about the competitive landscape for a sec, because obviously I've been involved in so many different businesses over the years, both as an investor and obviously directors and board members, and being able to understand that competitive landscape, especially in this market right now. And as you know, or maybe not know, but the crypto space is very nascent still. It's still very early. So a lot of the plans that companies have and a lot of the things that they do, it's quite nebulous, and I think we see that a lot with a lot of these other companies that really don't have their product developed yet, that are launching ICOs, which is fine. It's not a problem. But at the end of the day, it's a marketing, it's a story, it's a narrative. There's nothing to really analyze or compare that to as far as track record is concerned. Obviously, being in financial services and payments for so many years, especially when it comes down to the technology side as well as the licensing side, it's always a lot more work than everybody gives credit to. So, for example, with 10x, they obviously are here to run a card program. And when people are launching card programs, it's really the same stuff as a lot of other prepaid programs. It's just that crypto is acting as that additional funding mechanism, of course. But obviously, in the story, it can sound very innovative or revolutionary. When at the end of the day, it's another means in which to actually load value into the card, or at least pull value from another means like a wallet, etc. So as far as 10x is concerned, great successful ICO. They've obviously, not been around for that long. They're going to have a lot of people to cater to as far as people that, got involved on their token. And as far as from our experience is concerned, customer service and support is number one. So, if you expand and grow too fast, in my experience, you tend not to be able to deliver as quality of a product as you might want initially. So, I've always been of the belief, especially with all the startups and small companies that I've been able to grow, you want to be able to achieve sustainable growth on products that you are testing with, or at least building out, especially when it involves people's money. If you try and be everything to everyone initially, you have some really terrible experience. We see that obviously play out years before with some of the initial exchange hacks, trying to be too much to too many people. So that's why our approach, I think, is different than that of the 10x or some of the other card people, in the sense that, we have an existing product. We've been building our customer base for 4 years. We've provided the utmost in security for over those 4 years. And we believe that, as far as any of the other card issuers are concerned, we provide the most trusted and scalable service there is. And obviously, as the card program grows, there'll be a lot more advantages for our users, considering some of the partners that we have coming on board. Let's go back to some of these questions here. Total supply. So we have about 320 million with all bonuses, etc., that will be distributed. And let's see. Yeah, so account. That's a good one. Obviously the next milestone after the brokerage side of things will be actually putting that Bitcoin account together as far as bridging your traditional financial holdings, wallet, bank account, whatever, with that of your crypto holdings. I'm always careful of using the word bank because everybody just uses it without any foresight, and it's wrong at the end of the day. We've taken a different approach than a lot of other Bitcoin or blockchain businesses, I think, in the sense that, we're a licensed financial institution here by the FCA in the UK. We're not a Bitcoin blockchain business, trying to operate and find our footing. At the end of the day, we've taken the approach of being first and number one, a licensed payment institution here, and with the ability to provide trusted and scalable financial services to the growing crypto economy. So that narrative stands, and I think that actually allows us as a business to be able to take a completely different standpoint as far as how we are able to cater these types of services to our customers. Okay, going back to the questions here. Let's see, can I ask whether these tokens held on my Cryptopay account or on my Ether wallet are sent to? Just to let everybody know that obviously tokens will be delivered to the user specified Ether wallet, which will be integrated into the Cryptopay account shortly once the ICO concludes. Obviously, something exciting to mention to our current customers as well as some of the new customers coming, hopefully, is that we will be extending the wallet to support other cryptocurrencies. I'm happy to announce that we'll be obviously adding Ethereum. We'll be adding Ripple. We'll also be adding Litecoin to start. And as we analyze further different cryptocurrencies to see how that market cap goes, we will be integrating others into that gateway. But we're really focused on some of the top 4, top 5 currencies at the moment, so that we can really focus at providing the ultimate value for our customers. Again, going back to what I said earlier about not trying to be everything to everybody. Okay, new card here. Yeah, so obviously lots of things going on, with the plans and kind of the roadmap. And I think it's important to note that, we have some wonderful plans around the cards, and, we will be able to, open up European residents, hopefully, within the next 1 to 2 months. Obviously, being one of the only white label platform providers, we are working with a number of our partners to be able to switch this service on. We're very excited to be able to do that and be one of the only ones to be able to have that specific relationship in which to do so. Big, unique selling point as well. Okay, going back to the questions here. Again, going back to the exchanges that Cryptopay will be live with, I think the like I said earlier, the list that we're going to be it'll be available soon, and it will be published, obviously. And again, I've mentioned that the total supply is around 320 million, with all bonuses and additional tokens that can be issued. It's definitely something that I think is going to provide a significant value to our user base, as well as what we have planned specifically around the brokerage side of things. Cool. Let's see, just going back here. I wanted to take a moment as well to, talk about, what I think as far as being the future of crypto. And, I've done a lot of these talks now over the years in terms of what I see or what people think or what the price will be. At the end of the day, no matter what happens with the price, it's still up. It's still up, what, 10,000, 15,000%. And there's definitely no stopping the growth in which can be achieved. It's so often that I've seen in my career, and no tech cycle is different from one another, by the way. Bitcoin is this type of tech cycle. Whilst it might be a new technology, the mechanics and the actual framework is very similar to a lot of other tech cycles or cycles in the past. The technology starts out nascent. There's very little noise. It starts building up some sort of traction. Nobody likes the new stuff and wants to go with the old stuff. Investment starts pouring in, validation starts happening, and before you know it, you have an industry. And I think over the past 5 or 6 years now, especially since I've been involved in 2012, you've seen a lot of growth in this nascent industry. But again, it's still very nascent. Blockchain is still, as I like to call, almost guts. We don't have that that standard, so to speak. There is no blockchain HTTP or blockchain SMTP. Really, still very nascent as far as that goes. There's a lot of effort being done in which to wrap user experiences around it and make it much more efficient for people to take advantage of. And I think that's exactly where Cryptopay, in terms of removing unnecessary friction from customers and corporates that want to actually get exposure within this new economy, to take advantage of a lot of the efficiencies that Bitcoin and blockchain can provide. Where do I see the price going? I don't like to comment on the price. It's up, it's down. But I see potential growth on the horizon? Absolutely. Do I think it's going to go to the moon? I don't know. I mean, in my eyes, being an early adopter, it's already to the moon. So as far as the future growth of Bitcoin or any other crypto for that matter, it's going to be an interesting thing to actually be a part of and further analyze as the industry continues to grow with adoption as well as knowledge, especially with the other markets. Let's see. Look, I just got a question through. What makes your ICO better than the others when most fail? If anybody's been in startups, you'll know this for a fact. I've been involved in businesses to where you think it's going to be a huge success and to where it's not. And you have to kind of analyze and pick up the pieces and be able to kind of understand, well, where do the wrongs occur and what right needs to happen. This is going to be this space quite a bit, especially for the next couple of years, I feel. Over the coming couple of years, you'll see a lot of consolidation going to fail as a result. I don't think any of the businesses, maybe 2 or 3, are even still around. But it's definitely something to where the team is very important. The team is extremely important, especially when it comes down to new technology and being able to cater to new markets. And I think that our advantage as a business with Cryptopay is we have a phenomenal team, and we've been able to provide a phenomenal service for over 4 years. We tend to obviously continue to scale the business, licensing, all for the benefit of our customer at the end of the day. Let's see. So why is our ICO better? Well, I don't know if I can answer why it's better, but I can answer that the service itself that the ICO will help improve will make it a much better experience overall. Okay, let's go back to the questions here. Done. Cool. Okay, this is a good one. So, what type of other services are you guys thinking of doing? It's really up to find that, because obviously, one of the main things that we saw that was needed, obviously, to provide a real easy way in which people could swap their Bitcoins, swap their crypto for stocks, for Facebook, for Apple, for right now the actual process of invest in stocks for foreign nationals is nearly impossible. I mean, it's not only is it not achievable in some parts of the world, but it's also very expensive and very time consuming. So we see a massive need to provide a regulated type brokerage, for a growing crypto economy. And that's going to be a huge benefit for us. I think it's important to note as well, we will be at some, events coming up soon. Obviously we have some, doing a speaking slot at the European Gaming Summit in Berlin, which is next week on November 1st. Also to follow that, Cryptopay itself will be exhibiting, and Malta Gaming Summit, which is being put on by Sigma, and at that show as well, I will be conference chair for the crypto session, so there will be phenomenal attendees at that, in which we can kind of present a lot more about the ICO and some of our plans moving forward. Benefits of joining the ICO. I mean, it's clear how we're structured as a business is definitely in a much more trusted manner, I think, as far as some of the other businesses. Are we just a coin, or are we a company? Well, I think it's clear. I mean, we are a company. You can check our details out here in the UK with the Financial Conduct Authority. we're fully working, and we have been in full production for over 4 years now. We have ambitions to grow and become one of the in the space. Obviously, we are one of the main Bitcoin card providers currently, but we do have ambitions to really be a powerhouse when it comes down to alternative financial management and bridging that crypto space with the traditional legacy financial services. Cool. Just to talk about my background a little bit more in terms of how it relates to what we're doing. I've done a lot of work in prepaid cards, and I'll tell you, it's finding those relationships and banking, especially when you're combining a very risky product in prepaid with that of crypto itself, which is also undefined, requires a certain marriage of minds and of understanding and an approach to compliance and regulation. And I think as far as my background is concerned, it's definitely provided a lot of benefits in terms of our approach and kind of how we handle, whether it's our BIN sponsors and card issuers and some of those relationships, because our programs are extremely everything we do is in-house, and we obviously have great focus to make sure that our users' money is safe and they know it's safe, and they. Okay, let's see, another question's coming through. Oh yes, I've been involved in many different businesses, doing many different blockchain things over the years. It's one of those things to where you get to see a lot of companies come and go, and I definitely think that we're still in that space of not really knowing who's going to be the winner or who's going to be leading the charge. It's all still so early. I mean, back in the day, Google was hustling around for investment. They went to 750 different investors to hopefully they almost sold out, and it took that long in order for them to do what they do. I think we're still very early in the space. A lot of the big companies making noise right now, maybe they're not going to be around in 2 or 3 years. I really don't know. So it's hard to predict. But I think it's really important for people right now that are getting involved to basically follow and monitor a lot of these businesses. For example, let's see, have I heard of R3? Yeah, of course I've heard of R3, blockchain consortium, for the past 3 years now. Similar to a lot of other groups, they are developing their own their own distributed ledger technology platform based on blockchain technology, yada yada yada. And it's great to have all these different groups putting these different initiatives together, for the benefit of blockchain at the end of the day. Will it be something that's going to be around in 5-10 years? I can't predict that. I mean, I do not have a crystal ball. If I had a crystal ball, I definitely would have made some different decisions in terms of investing a lot earlier. I'll tell you that. Which is obviously what everybody says, but no crystal ball here, so it's hard to predict kind of what they have planned out. Again, I'm a firm believer of decentralization, and yes, there are going to be needs for private blockchains for various, but providing that bridge between what is private and what is public, in terms of that real interoperable approach, I think is going to be absolutely key. I'm just kind of looking at a few things right now. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Rootstock in terms of what they're putting together, as well as some other projects that really kind of leverage the Bitcoin blockchain and give it further growth and services. Let's see. USP for the end user. I mean, at the end of the day, there are not a lot of services for the end user right now. The technology, like I said earlier, is extremely nascent. And there is not a lot of information out there for users to trust or take advantage of. So at the end of the day, as far as we're concerned, and the way in which our platform works is the easiest way in which to interact not only with Bitcoin, but now with other cryptocurrencies, making it fungible. Because I think that the important thing is obviously, needing access to your coins, to your money. So being able to, use a card wherever you want in the world at any time is a very powerful thing, not to mention the savings around fees and interchange, etc. Okay, going on to some other questions here. Okay. Again, so what are we going to do with the funds? As far as the ICO goes, to start investing the money. It's obviously that immediately once the ICO completes in the next few days, a lot of the money collected will be in terms of licensing that we'll be able to achieve for the actual brokerage itself. We're really excited to provide some more details about that product to our customers. So be definitely on the lookout for that. Obviously, we've already reached our goal, and that'll be the first thing that we do announce, which is really exciting. As to the products and everything else, we believe the other products that are coming out, we obviously believe that most of the services on the roadmap will have huge commercial success, not only for us as a business, but also commercial success for our clients and corporates, because obviously we've put a lot of focus this past year into developing our corporate platform, not only for being able to do white label on the crypto cards themselves, but also in the future to be able to white label some of the other services that we'll be announcing and launching. I think the one thing to note as far as stacking up some different merchants and card people, the question that just came in here now, what is the main difference between your company and BitPay? Again, knowing BitPay very well, they are obviously a very, very good merchant processor, but focused on a completely different market than we are. Again, we do not service US. We never have. I'm not saying we never will, but for right now, we have no initial plans to include the United States in terms of one of the countries that we support. Again, that's not to say the cards can't work there. We do offer USD cards that can obviously work in the United States, but we do not onboard any US citizens currently. And we're very focused on our European market. Some of the strongest countries, obviously here in the UK, as well as Germany, France, Italy, et cetera, et cetera. I wanted to also, talk about a lot of the stuff around hype, because we're getting a lot of messaging, a lot of things through around, oh, this is happening and that's happening, and this token is launching and that token's launching, and I need to do. It's a lot of noise. It's a lot of noise, and it's really hard sometimes to stay laser focused in terms of focusing on an actual product that provides the utmost service when it comes down to security or functionality or user experience, what have you. And I think it's going to be something to where we'll see a lot of consolidation moving forward with a lot of this noise. But right now we are in a bubble. We are in a bit of a bubble. We are in a major hype cycle, and I think that it's definitely important to point out that it's don't listen to all the noise. There's a lot of different projects out there, to where you need to do due diligence on, and you need to check to make sure, okay, what's the structure like? Who's part of the team? What's the roadmap look like? What's the advisory board consist of? Because at the end of the day, right now, with very little regulatory frameworks in place, there are a lot of companies trying to leverage that and find loopholes in which to kind of take advantage of people. So it's definitely in that kind of vein of hype cycle. And I think our approach is to really be able to leverage our financial position as far as our license is concerned, and provide the utmost of security and support for our growing user base, legacy financial services and new innovative blockchain, technologies. It's something to where I've seen so many times that everybody gets so fixated on this, and this, and then something new comes on, and then something new comes along, and then something new. And I always tell a lot of the people that I mentor or work with, stay laser focused. If you stay laser focused and provide the utmost secure and scalable product, your users will come to you. They will flock to you. And obviously, that's been a major focus for us, that customer base, from day one. And that's something that we hold true to our customers, and we're always available to them 24/7. See some questions coming through. Who can become a Cryptopay employee? Well, we're currently hiring, so depending on where you're based, feel free to drop us a line through the website and with your CV, and see if you qualify for certain roles that might become available. Whether you're based in Europe or UK, we're always looking for very, very qualified people to join the team. So happy to put you in touch with the right people when it comes down to that side of things. And just to kind of go back to what I was saying previously, I think we're in a very interesting time, and I'm excited more than anybody to really be a part of it. I think that you're definitely going to be able to do a lot more in this space as the years go by. A lot of the nascent products right now will become further defined. More and more money will start pouring into this space. If you're not already involved and you're watching this, I urge you to get involved. It's not too late. And I get calls all the time from people. Oh my God, Eric, I should have listened to you. I should have this. I should have that. And I said, no, late. And it really is not. There are so many different exciting projects, and Bitcoin obviously being the most exciting, of course. But there is a great opportunity right now to be part of this, as I like to call this innovative revolution, this crypto movement, because at the end of the day, some of our most exciting technology, as far as from infrastructure and applications and services, especially when it comes down to data and financial, as far as value is concerned, is going to be the most exciting. I've always been involved in the payment space, and it's exciting for me to see just how blockchain is able to unravel all the unnecessary crap, the layers and layers and layers of friction that prevent people from actually innovating and doing business. And blockchain, for me, one of the most exciting things is something to where it unravels and removes that friction, so that companies, startups, developers, corporates are able to use that technology and provide much better and more efficient products and services for customers at the end of the day. Cool. Let's go on down here for more questions. So yeah, just to kind of go looking at the question list now. What are our aspirations and vision for the service? I think I know that we obviously aspire to be one of the most trusted, if not the trusted, financial service for this growing crypto economy. The idea to have all your financial space is obviously going to be a revolutionary and extremely innovative product for our. And that's something obviously that we have a lot of focus in on right now, and that's obviously one of the main things that the ICO is going to be helping out with. So another question that's come through: how did I come up with the idea of Cryptopay? Wasn't me that came up with the idea. It was actually my very good friends Dmitry Gunyashev and George Basilidis. Came up with this idea, obviously after getting involved in the crypto space as anybody does, and thinking about different types of service to offer users, whether it's the wallet or the exchange, The first thing that we did with Cryptopay is launch the merchant processing service, to give merchants the ability to accept Bitcoin as a payment mechanism in order to, cut down on processing costs or chargebacks or fraud risks, etc. But then we realized that obviously we could extend this product a lot more to obviously the wallet side of the business, as well as cards and exchange services. Cool. Just looking at some of the list now. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And obviously, if you guys are just joining late, my name is Eric Benz, Managing Director for Cryptopay in a nutshell from a high level, because I've already gone through the pillars of the business and everything else. But, PayPal, when you think of someone like Revolut, that's what Cryptopay is about. I mean, we've really focused long and hard on providing such a usable, friendly product via desktop or mobile, and especially with some of the products and services to come post ICO, which we will be announcing. I think that you guys are going to definitely find some very exciting features to take advantage of, as far as within the platform is concerned. Let's see. So, immediately following the ICO, a lot of the products that we've been speaking about will commence with development. Like I said, we've already reached that first goal. So, the brokerage side of things is extremely exciting for us, and we will be able to announce more developments around that. But again, we hope to be the world's first regulated Bitcoin brokerage to be able to launch. So stay tuned for some of those announcements. And as far as the other products are concerned, the bank accounts and ICO platform, most of these services on the roadmap will definitely be able to bring a great amount of value to our users. Like I said, I'm very excited actually with where we are with Cryptopay. Obviously, over the past 4 years, with the Bitcoin and blockchain space being so nascent, still and underdeveloped, we've been able to hold position in this market, and we've been able to do a phenomenal job at that. And I think that's really down to with our users and how we focus on providing scalable services. There's always going to be issues, but that's why we understand how to connect with people in order to solve those issues. And a very big reason why Cryptopay is where it's at today, because of our users. Okay. We have some big fintech companies coming in, obviously, to the space, especially to our ICOs. A lot of those partners who came in early to the ICO will be announced once the ICO finishes. So stay tuned to that. Again, if you want to share the link to the live broadcast, we'll provide that in a sec. I'm just looking at the comments now, so you can share it. We will hopefully have the as well, or at least the commentary once we complete with this in the next couple of days. So definitely be on the lookout for that. People are asking about different things with traffic and all that. We have a wonderful rev share program for our affiliates. Affiliates is a big market for us in terms of how we're able to provide efficiency to the affiliate space, especially around payouts and all that. We've already shared the link, so you're more than welcome to check that out. Let's see. Again, like I said, we'll be able to issue to non-EU countries hopefully in the next 6 to 8 weeks. So be on the mailing list for that specifically. And again, a list of all the countries that we service are on the website, so feel free to check that out. We'll share a link as well. Once we have a moment in terms of what countries we obviously cater to. Cool. Some more questions here. Okay, so yeah, just to kind of talk about some of the as far as the applications are concerned, the iPhone app has been a huge success. We launched that app about a few months ago, and we've seen exponential adoption and downloads. As far as that is concerned, a huge shout out to our mobile development team. I personally feel they're one of the best in the industry, if not between financial services itself as well as crypto. We have some incredible developments with our Android app, which will be coming out very, very soon. Please be on the lookout for some of those announcements, which will come. But I think that a lot of our Android users and new Android users will be. And I had fun. I mean, it's making me think of actually even getting an Android phone in addition to my iPhone, which is cool. Let's see. Any questions you guys have about countries that we service or whatever, feel free to have support. We have a whole list available on our website also, so feel free to check in there. Cool. Very, very cool. So, obviously we are positioning ourselves to be a really interesting financial, and I'm excited to be part of the business. Obviously, we will be announcing some of these developments to come, especially around once the ICO finishes. We've locked in significant funding around the token, both from our users as well as private token holders. So we're excited to kind of move ahead with that, and lots being planned. Part of being able to provide a scalable, trusted service means that you have to be able to plan the roadmap very carefully, and being able to rely on your team. Like I said before, the team is everything right now with businesses, especially in this space. I've been involved in so many different startups over the past 15 years, and I can definitely tell you that it takes more than just an idea. It takes more than investment. It takes more than just putting a team together. It takes a really, really big drive from all different areas in which to actually turn that idea into a commercially viable business. And you know what? We have definitely achieved that with Cryptopay. So I'm very excited to move forward with some of the initial product launches and services that we have going. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Let's see, coming in from our Reddit. What do you think governments are so afraid of blockchain? Is there a way, in your opinion, to make them feel safe regarding this whole innovative system? Okay. So, obviously, when it comes down to government, I have quite a lot of experience in terms of consultation for government. And I have started a private blockchain company that launched the world's first government service, and also was available to the UK public sector for procurement. It comes down to providing trust to governments and regulators. That's something I've been doing, obviously, for the past 3 or 4 years now between different governments. I'm also, involved from an advisory perspective and surround different blockchain projects. But at the end of the day, the government technologies and blockchain being one of them, in which to make what they do more efficient or more auditable or more secure. And at the end of the day, blockchain provides that out of the box, as a better database. I mean, obviously orthogonal to the MySQL, but it's at the end of the day, it's a better database that automatically solves counterparty interactions and is completely transparent, auditable, real-time auditability, immutability, etc., and interoperability. I hope that answered the question. So yes, obviously, any people that don't have knowledge in something are always going to be scared of it. But the more people that start validating it, the more money that comes in. And the great thing about Bitcoin and blockchain, it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. And that's one of the most powerful things about Bitcoin and blockchain itself. So at the end of the day, leveraging it, taking advantage of it, becoming validators on the network is going to be a big deal, I think, for governments moving forward. Let's see, just looking at the more questions coming through. Cool. All right. Yeah, I think as far as kind of what we're doing in the public, we've got a lot of things planned for 2017, 2018. We'll be announcing some of the events that we'll be participating in shortly. We also have quite a lot of things that we're going to really make active with our users, some different kind of contests and various different things that we'll be putting out to the public. So always be on the lookout. And if you're not signed up to the newsletter already, please do so, because obviously it's very good. Our founder George, blog postings and all that, which we'll share the links for people to review now. I have a question here. So what can you advise for enthusiasts who want to start the ICO? I'd say for enthusiasts wanting to start an ICO, do your research, have your 2 a.m. moment, understand the implications of that ICO, and understand exactly who might which to work with or what have you. I mean, it's not as easy as it might have been 1 or 2 years ago. The amount of ICOs that have launched and the different things happening in the space have definitely made it a lot harder because of the competition. So if you are looking to launch an ICO, I would just say you really want to know what you're doing. You really want to have that business plan together and understand exactly the mechanics of how that ICO is going to work within the actual overall business. Okay. Through. Let's see where we're at. So great questions, obviously. Thank you for people that are commenting. So John's obviously asking, will we have another try at the contactless GBP card? Yes, I said earlier, we'll hopefully be able to get that service back up and running within the next 4 to 6 weeks or so, I'd say. Obviously, we're looking to switch the services outside of Europe on as soon as possible. Apologies to our users who have been affected by this. Obviously, it's up to us to provide the best services we can for our global user base. But at the end of the day, our number one responsibility is to our regulators. And obviously, being a licensed financial institution, we have to do whatever it is in order to provide that trusted service when it's in a financial manner. Cool. We have a question here. Could you say something about Visa, MasterCard restrictions outside of EU? Sure. Obviously, with the regulation on prepaid, there's been a lot of effect that's come through for the cross-border issuing. So there's a lot of issues around being able to outside of Europe for non-European residents, and obviously with that, people need to just research and develop and be aware of. But all is not lost. It's just something that we have to take into account and look at alternative ways in which we can service those customers. I'm just going to get some water. 1 second, everyone. Cool. Back. So look, just to kind of summarize, I thought it would be important just to kind of talk about my background a little bit and why it's so important that we're here providing the services that we do. I've been involved in the Bitcoin blockchain space going on 5 years now. I remember helping start one of the first cash to Bitcoin services in America with MoneyGram. And then from there, obviously bringing that service over to the UK with PayPoint to where we were able to provide cash to Bitcoin services really early on in 2013. And, working in this market for some time, it's been quite exciting to see the growth come about. Obviously, like I said earlier in the beginning, my background's actually in psychology. I did my master's thesis in consumer behavior for gambling addiction. So my knowledge with high-risk markets and financial services and payment processing is probably one of the best, I would have to say. And, it's something to where when Bitcoin came along, I immediately saw exactly how my knowledge within high-risk financial services could be applicable to this nascent industry. So early on, I started working with many different startups and companies in which to help, design their banking services and, being able to provide service to customers, because at the end of the day, in order to do so in this space, you still need to be connected to the legacy financial space. Let's see. Some more questions coming through. Yeah, like I said, a lot of the new technologies that are coming could allow us to take advantage of some of the ability to make services more efficient for our customers. But right now, I think a lot of that technology is very nascent still. So for us, we want to leverage trusted legacy financial products and be able to provide those to this growing crypto economy. So, users, services and products that people are already used to, already wake up in the morning and check and take advantage of. We want to bring that into our platform, into our gateway, and we have phenomenal plans in which we are going to be able to do so. Coming in more. Okay, just reading some of these questions here. So, obviously, people are commenting on our user base, which is very, very strong. We've obviously years. So, we are one of the most trusted Bitcoin crypto businesses, in my opinion, and our user base is growing significantly. Obviously, we've been doing very good marketing. Our marketing department is very strong. Our SEO is strong. Plus, the background in our team is very strong. So we've been able to attract a lot of newcomers and being very targeted with what we have to offer. Cool. So obviously is to, just take a moment to summarize where we are. Anybody that obviously wants to get in touch with me, I'm always available. Feel free to reach me on my Twitter, Eric Benz 84, or you could contact Cryptopay Twitter account or our Facebook page. We're open to discuss anything around the business or what we see as being happening in this space at any time. So we're always available to people that want to do that. So obviously, feel free to reach out and get in touch. Any questions when it comes down to issues with purchasing the token or signing up and registration? Feel free to get in touch with support. We have an awesome support team who will be able to assist you. If there's anybody that's still having issues, please post comments in the chat, and we'll be able to obviously take that to full account. Like I said, we are very excited for a lot of the products and services that we'll be launching. Please stay tuned for that. But I would definitely urge you, with only 3 days left, get involved. Let's go ICO. This is a very exciting time. We couldn't be more excited to be able to launch this ICO for our user base. I think a lot of the partners that we have confirmed that we will be announcing will be very, very big and give our token holders a great opportunity to feel very involved in the business. I wanted to thank everybody for joining us today. Again, feel free to reach out, tweet us, post, etc. Thanks for the time. Cheers.